Hi guys, Kaze here. Welcome back. We're back with some more Destiny's Princess, and we're now on chapter 8. I forgot. It's been a while since I recorded it. So, anyway, back with chapter 8. And yeah, so let's get to this. Oh, and as a heads up, coming up, of course, after chapter 8 and all the endings, we'll be moving on to what was his name? Hanabe. I was the same Masamune. I'm like, no, we already did him. My bad. All right. Anyway, let's get on and enjoy Daddy Dearest in Annihilator. I don't know why I keep calling him Daddy Dearest. He's not really Daddy. We separated into two groups, those who stayed in the castle and those who went out to battle. There were only a few select that went toward Rokaku Kanoji Castle. In order to not attract the demon's attention, we galloped through the mountains, and sometimes advanced on foot. Nobunaga lined his horse up with mine and spoke to me on the side of the road. If we burn Rokaku Takayori's corpse in the innermost part of the castle, we will sever the link to the underworld. That way the demons will disappear, just like your dagger said. When did you ask it about that? While you were sleeping. You sleep like a rock last night. You looked rather tired. Technically, I don't know if you forced me or what, but it was more like, oh God, this is not planned. Hanabe's dying. Oh shit. That type of thing. So I don't. Whatever. I'm just going to go with it. Nobunaga grinned. After what we did last night, is anything going through your body as you ride that horse? If you say any more, I'll sew that mouth of yours shut. How scary. Knowing you might actually do it. He said that, but he didn't look like he was holding himself back in the least. But I'm surprised you got a straight answer out of that dagger. How did you do it? It usually just dodged questions and never gave out any important information. Well, I have my ways. You don't have any intentions of telling me, huh? Nobunaga started response to my question. You know me well. Oh, jeez. After becoming so close to him, I now knew his thoughts were immeasurable. Won't it be dangerous if we invade the castle? Can't we burn the castle in Rokaku Takayori? That is a good question. However, once you see it yourself, you won't be able to say the same thing. Huh? I soon learned what he meant. This is Rokaku Kanoji Castle? Below a low cliff, a group of grove trees was an enormous, almost majestic stone castle. It was a big mountain castle. I'm not even sure why it's worded like that. Even if we tried to burn it, it was mostly made of stone. Anything that looked burnable was rotten. The only thing left was a messy pile of rocks. Even if we burned the surroundings all at once, it'd take a lot of work to burn the interior. Nobunaga turned to the vassals that followed him this far. Masamune was among them. What you're all looking at is Rokaku Kanoji Castle. Takayori's remains are in its depths. Fuma and his party will lure out the remaining demons. We were lucky enough not to run into any demons so far, but from here on, it will be a battlefield. Lord Nobunaga. I know he had come from a guitar appeared out of the shadows of a tree. All arrangements are in order. How many are there? Approximately 100. 100? I didn't know if I should view it as a lot or think if it's a small number. Our troops are 1/4 of that. Masamune? Yes, my lord. Masamune stepped out from the middle of the vassals. You're in charge of subduing the demons that are lured out. Use the remaining men as you see fit. Acknowledged. Masamune spoke briefly. He looked very reliable with how much confidence was on his face. A great number of demons are on their way to the castle. It is up to Yukimura to hold them off. What? We won't take that long. Also, think of this castle as non-existent. Nobunaga spoke clearly and his words sound confident. Father, what do you mean? What? Just think of it as their last stand. We're leaving. Nobunaga spoke in a strong voice, and he then cut through the vanguard and rode down the cliff. I readied myself and followed after him on my horse. Follow, father! Protect Lord Nobunaga and the princess. Kotaro commanded the troops, and I saw a shadow jump into a treetop like a wild monkey. The cliff wasn't high or steep. It took all my effort to not fall off the cliff, but just as we finished descending, they appeared. Gwah! They're here. The demon was holding a piece of meat. I was concerned it was a demon meat from its color. What's demon meat look like? The demon's mouth was covered in blood. Even its teeth were red. It was lured out by the bait. Before I knew it, Kotaro was standing next to me, sneering. When you lured it out with that meat? Demons don't mind cannibalism, huh? Yeah, stay here, princess. We'll protect you. And once we've made a path, go along with Nobunaga. Avenge your loved ones. Kotaro, you... Kotaro looked at me and smiled like an innocent child. Upon Nobunaga's orders, he had spied on me. I wonder how much of the truth he knew. I guess he knew that he was summoned here because of my selfish wish. Despite knowing that, he still smiled at me like that. Thank you, Kotaro. It's nothing. Kotaro spoke as if he didn't care. The battle had already started before my eyes. On Masamune and father's orders, the vassals were separated into different platoons. The skilled warriors cleverly exterminated the demons. I separated myself from the troops and went away from the demons. I was absorbed in firing my bow. The demons came out of the castle and spread out, while the first corpses fell over. Kaze, follow me! Nobunaga called to me as he maneuvered the horse's neck. Yes, father! I thought I saw a straight line in the midst of battle. Several vassals followed after us. They must have been designated to do so beforehand. Right as we were about to reach the castle gates, a huge bludgeon-like arm swung in front of me. I ducked and dodged it within a hair's breadth. Go me. I looked to my side and saw a demon thrust its arm at me. I saw it in slow motion. Would I make it? Would I escape? I won't make it. I prepared myself for the impact. Ah! I heard Masamune and the demon roar. Huh? I opened my eyes upon the horse that was running at top speed. In the distance, I saw Masamune pull out a long sword and he stabbed the demon with. He then yelled, "Good luck!" I'm rising to the one clip where Masamune looked like an anime character. Oh my god. Thank you, Masamune. You're awesome. You too. The image of Masamune waving his hand became more and more distant. Wait, he had time to wave a hand as he battled a demon. Okay. Yukimura had been left in the castle, as well as Hanabe, who had died. They originally had no connection to me, yet they were now desperately fighting for me. I no longer knew if their feelings were theirs or the ones from their deceased counterparts. The disgust I felt when I found out about my real father and brother's feelings were now gone. I now found encouragement in their feelings. I'll end all of this, I swear. I'll make the demons disappear from this nation no matter what. The inside of the castle was desolate, and before we got to the tiger's den, there was now a rotting roof. Over the palace, the front yard should have been. Rokako Kanoji Castle had been made differently compared to any other castle I have known. The floor was cracked in several places, dust and ice-like cobwebs hung from the barren ceiling. We left our horses and grabbed torches as we continued inside on foot. It would have been difficult to go in with the horses because of the debris and big holes in the floor. There were pieces of meat lying all around. It must have been the bait Kotaro had set up. I smelled the fresh blood mixed in with the stagnant, dust-filled air. On the way, there was a demon still inside, but the vassals killed it. Other than that, it was a surprisingly quiet journey. On our way, we went down some old stairs, and it looked like we were going into a cellar. Do we not get any images of any of this, or is that just like too much work? It's not part of the stock photos. We can't show them anything. No one uttered a word. We even suppressed our sighs as we quickened our pace. After a short while, Nobunaga, who was in front, stopped. It is here, huh? Yes, my lord. Kotaro answered nonchalantly from the rear. There was a large door nailed shut in the front of Nobunaga. After taking a closer look, it seemed like there were traces of paper pasted on it. It must have been from the paper that sealed spirits. The letters were faded, and the paper was rotting. Nobunaga glared at the door. He shouted an order. Open it up! Two vassals rushed over with cleavers and pushed on the door. The loud shrieking echoed in the narrow passage, and at the same time, fragments fell from the door. A large cloud of dust flew at us. Ugh. It looks like this hasn't been opened in a long time. I was half speaking to myself, and Kotaro answered. We'd only verified the contents from a crack in the wall. We never went inside. When the castle was destroyed, this door was closed. It probably stayed that way ever since then. The thick door was slowly pushed open. It was old, the hinge was about to fall off, and it was more like a heavy rock. When the vassals opened it enough so a person could pass through, Nobunaga crossed his arms and gazed at the door. He mumbled in a soft voice, "They're coming." A gust of wind surged out from the other side of the door. Where's this wind coming from? We were in the middle of a castle. It looked like we were in the deepest part and underground. The wind was so strong it could have put out our eyes if we didn't cover them. The hair behind my neck wrapped in a swirl. If I hadn't stood firmly, my body might have been blown away. Ugh! The wind put out our torches, and it became pitch black. There was an odd smell in the air. Huh? When I had thought the wind died down, I saw someone's huge back in front of me. Nobunaga. Nobunaga smiled and looked into the depths of the door as the wind blew. The wind suddenly stopped. Huh? I took a peek inside and was astonished. There was a room that was far more tranquil than I had imagined. Well, at least we had image for this. Even though the castle was falling apart, the room looked like it was just built and brand new. The walls looked like they were just painted, and the wooden pillars were beautiful. There's a lit candle. It wasn't there when I came in last to look. Kotaro mumbled. I was too late to realize that fact. Even though the torches went out, we could see the insides thanks to the flame from the candles. This was someone else's living place. That person was... It was the same person who showed up in my dream. The body protected by a barrier and enshrined, his hollow eyes and clothes were the same. And that was his corpse? We're going in. Nobunaga stepped forward and the vassals followed suit. Princess, let's go inside as well. Oh, yeah, I'm coming with you. You're not leaving me out here in this creepy place. Yes. I was dumbfounded as I looked at Takayori's remains, but I came to my senses and went in. The moment I stepped over the threshold, Takayori's jaw fell off. Oh. A strange noise pierced our ears and disturbed our minds. The jaw from Takayori's corpse started clattering and moved about. It is not possible. Is the jaw speaking? His voice so sounded like 10 people singing together as it echoed. His shouts were full of hate. I froze up. Takayori's eye sockets were empty. They weren't supposed to be there, but he was staring at me. My family put an end to the Rikaku clan, and he won me, the sole survivor. How frightening! One vassal drew a sword as his eyes lit up with bloodlust. He ran across like that and tried to cut Takayori. However... When he reached the fence around Takayori, he flew backwards as he was hit by lightning. His voice became even louder and echoed strongly. It was maddening, even when we covered our ears. The walls around in response to his voice, and the floor beat as if it were a living thing's stomach. Takayori's voice was unimaginable, and it sounded like a collective billow of voices. I was sure it was a collective hatred from the Rikaku clan that my family destroyed. When everyone covered their ears and cowered in fear... Quiet! Nobunaga was still standing up straight. His eyes were burning as he stared and roared at Takayori. The voices then disappeared. It was like his spirit won against Takayori's hatred. And as he stared at Takayori's corpse, Nobunaga spoke in a sharp voice. Even if we can't get close, we can shoot him with an arrow, and flames can purify the wicked. Cause a fire. Bring down a burning arrow. Yes, my lord. One vassal flew over as he took out a piece of flint. Nobunaga spoke to me, but did not look at me. Princess, that's your prey. That's your enemy. I'm guessing it's me who's going to shoot that. Okay. My enemy. He was right. It was the reason my father died. It was responsible for killing my loved ones. It had killed my brother and the vassals. Many people were lost because of it. It was my enemy. Fire a flaming arrow. Burn it completely. I will. Princess, use this. A vassal handed me an arrow. A cloth doused in oil was wrapped around the tip of the arrow firmly. Thank you. I nodded and took the arrow. and I fixed it on the bow's string. Apparently, I got training while I wasn't paying attention before this whole battle, or Daddy gave me some quick lessons in bed. I aimed and ordered the vassal. Light it on fire. The vassal put the fire from a stick onto the arrowhead. Ka! When I was about to let out the arrow, Takayori's jaw started to shake again. Ka, ka, ka. Rattle, 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 rattle. I think we got the point. The loud sound started to vibrate in the room again. Ah! The vassals crouched in fear. My vision was bending. It twisted, stretched, shrank, and swayed like a tremor. But I didn't take my eyes off of Takayori. I didn't even notice the flame's heat on my finger. I won't lose to an illusion. Above the decaying corpse, I could see the faces of old men piled together. That was probably Rukako Takayori, a massive hatred against my family that he couldn't abandon. He was my father, brothers, and everyone's enemy, and now I was about to shoot him. Take this! The bowstring sprang forward. It sounded like the clear sound from a koto. It tore through the vengeful spirit's voice, and in that moment, it must have been an illusion. The faces of my loved ones that I had forgotten flashed before my eyes. It was like they came to say their final farewell. It was like they gently returned the kind, nostalgic fragments of memory to me. Ah! The fire arrow hit Takayori's eye socket, and for a moment there was silence. And then... Ah! The flames burned all at once. A strangely vivid scream lit out of Takayori's throat. It was like killing a living person. The burning corpse squirmed as if it withered in pain. Its hands reached out to me as if it wanted something from me. How terrifying. I held my body tightly. Suddenly, I felt someone's presence nearby. For flesh and bones, it's sure burning nicely. It was Nobunaga. He noticed my gaze and smiled. He hugged my shoulders. Good job. Nobunaga. Yep. Nobunaga! I clung to him. His strong arms promptly hugged me back. At first, I had to resist calling him father. After all, for some reason, I didn't call him by his name anymore. And now, I was calling his name obediently from the bottom of my heart. I said my farewells to my real father. This man was my husband. He was the man I chose, the only man for me. When did I get married? When did I get married? I got married when Susie died. I held onto Nobunaga's arm as I watched Takayori burn. His corpse was now silent. It slowly shrank. It was like a slug splashed with salt water. The violent moving body became still. It didn't even twitch on the floor. I was dumbfounded, but when the flames transferred onto a pillar, I came back to my senses. Let's get out of the castle, quickly! While Nobunaga spoke, the violent flames climbed up to the pillar and the ceiling caught on fire. Come here! Okay. I quickly followed after Nobunaga and noticed something weird. The walls and floors that had looked brand new when we entered changed into a rusted color. It wasn't like they had burned. The flames didn't reach those parts of the room yet. They were decaying on their own. As soon as we stepped over the exit, it decayed even more and its fragments scattered. The room that had been filled with Takayori's spells finally started to disappear. We quickly hurried outside as if we were being chased by the flames. Everyone collapsed before he escaped the castle. A remarkably loud noise reverberated behind us. The passage became a giant pile of rubble. The passage became a giant pile of rubble. If I was one step too late, I might have been crushed. Princess, are you all right? I fell into the grass and Masamune put his hand out toward me. Yeah. What about you? I'm fine. Sir Fuma, I'm glad to see you're safe as well. Yeah, but I'd rather not do that again. I can't handle such eerie stuff. Next to me, Kotaro was on the ground, drenched in sweat. He looked up at the sky. Why are you sweating? Was the flames that intense? Look, the demon's remains are disappearing. I finally noticed that Nobunaga pointed it out. I finally noticed after Nobunaga pointed it out. The demon's remains scattered all around, sank into the ground. What's going on? That means they weren't originally from this world. If these remains are disappearing, that means the demons at the castle should be gone too. Masamune went toward a grove of trees. He looked towards the castle. And Yukimura and the others have been saved. Most likely, yes. Thank goodness. When I shot, a dagger started to speak at the same time. Well then, it looks like I'll be free from my duties soon enough. Huh? And now the others now hear it. Hi, Katara. Hi, Masamune. How y'all doing? What was that voice just now? Katara glared at my bosom with an intense face while Masamune blinked in wonder. Don't look. Don't go and jump for my boobies either. Come on. Get away from my dagger. It's mine. Nobunaga snorted in displeasure. You cannot stay here just a little bit longer. That's impossible. You can't stop me anymore. What does that mean? As I asked my question, Nobunaga took the dagger from my bosom. Okay, daddy dears are always reaching in there, isn't he? Originally, a demon sealed inside this dagger was sent by the Rokkaku clan in order to destroy your castle, princess. What? What? Hey! What are you talking about? Shh! Katara silenced Masamune, who was still confused. The other vassals started to stare as well, not understanding the situation. I spoke to Nobunaga. What? Why do you know about those things? I asked about it when I was summoned here before. The previous lord didn't show me the dagger, but he told me about it. That's exactly right. I was summoned here to destroy your castle. I was sent here for that purpose. My face turned white. From the beginning, I was doing just what the enemy wanted me to do. But how did a demon sent to destroy the castle become an heirloom? I was captured because I was a powerful demon. Oh my, humans are such horrifying creatures. Dagger cackled. And your distant ancestors promised me that if I granted 10 wishes, I would be set free. Dagger never told me that my wish was the 10th and final one. That means you're... The demon's voice lowered. It sounded like a completely different person. All I have to do now is fulfill my pledge to the Rokkaku clan and destroy your castle. Why didn't he do this in the other ones? I swallowed my breath and I looked toward the castle. The vassals simultaneously turned their heads as well. One person went past the grove and looked through an opening. He shivered. Look, there's smoke coming up from the castle. It was true. A line of smoke was trailing along. And in that direction and at that distance, I was sure it was from the castle. Everyone! I covered my mouth. Everyone! I thought we were finally saved. I can't believe this. From the beginning, the castle was destroyed. I made it look like it was fine with my powers. There was nothing strange about returning it to its proper form, right? The dagger spoke in its high-pitched voice again and continued to laugh in Nobunaga's hands. If that's what he meant by destroying the castle, and yeah, he's technically done that every single time. Well then, princess, let me solve a mystery for you before you disappear. I disappear? Huh? In a stupor, I carelessly turned toward the dagger. The dagger clattered in Nobunaga's hands as he had a grim expression on his face. Your wish came true the moment I chose these men. Despite that fact, why do you think I stayed in this world, in that castle with you? Did you think these men were the only people who fell in love with you? What are you saying? The dagger struck even more violently. It strangely looked as if it were laughing. The dagger then informed everyone in the vicinity with its loud voice. Your body was just as sweet as your blood! So you liked being in my bosom is what you're telling me. So you didn't go anywhere else. You always were in my freaking bosom. You're just like, oh, this is just a perk. I'm just going to stay in her bosom. Woo! No. My body, what are you talking about? Have you already forgotten? It happened that night before you two embraced. It felt like someone touching you, right? Oh, God, no, not that time. What? You withered in joy, didn't you? Didn't it feel like something was piercing the center of your body? At night, One night I saw the illusion of the Buddhist priest. Oh, that's just creepy. No, that's even worse. The feeling I had when I couldn't move and I felt something heavy was on me. I felt so much when Nobunaga embraced me. In other words, you. Stop it. Stop. Before him, Stop! I covered my face with both my hands and crouched down. Ah! I heard something that sounded like someone biting a rock. The dagger then made a strange sound. Ooh, Nobunaga got pissed. Without any expression on his face, Nobunaga was stepping on the dagger. He stomped his foot on it over and over. Ugh! And moaned softly. That was the last sound the dagger made. Nobunaga lifted his foot, and below it was a smashed scarab and the broken dagger. The blade in the scarab suddenly became aged. Just like the walls of the room Takayori was in, it automatically turned to small fragments. It became sand right before my eyes. It then became ash and was carried off by the wind. Well, that just got really... This is a really dark episode. Like, everything that's happened this chapter is just so very dark. Nobunaga's grim face suddenly had a smile on it. Princess. Nobunaga pulled me up by the arm and hugged me. It's okay. You don't need to cry. Yeah. It's okay. You don't need to cry. Okay. Don't cry, okay? Uh-huh. He put his warm arm around me and caressed me. I couldn't hold myself back. Were the people in the castle okay? Was the thing that happened to my body that meaningful? Everything came to me all at once and caused me to cry. Nobunaga whispered to me as he cuddled and caressed my back. Don't cry. Don't cry. You're strong. You defeated your sworn enemy splendidly. Don't lend your ears to the small demon's practical joke. But... He couldn't understand the disgust I felt at the idea of being touched by someone other than him. I know for a fact that you were a virgin. It was only an illusion. There's no need to cry. And Yukimura was with everyone at the castle. I'm sure they were able to run away. Don't worry. Everything went well. Oh, okay. Nobunaga let me go. He then smiled and asked me a question as if he were pampering me. That's right. I'll give you a reward. A present for burying Takayori. What do you want? Ooh, and here's our ending. Ah! Okay. We're gonna do ending A, right? So... Hug me, Daddy. Please, hug me. Please hug me. I didn't care if everyone saw us. Please, help me forget the lies that the monstrous apparitions spoke. Wait, that's not the right hug me. No, that's embrace me. That's not a hug. That's an embrace. A very intimate embrace that you want to do in front of everybody? What? Nobunaga grinned and kissed me lightly. Our lips separated and he whispered his sweet voice into my ear. My legs got weak. He looked over at the vassals that didn't make it out before the castle fell and roared. We're going back to the castle. The place we were going might have just been a rubble after a fire. Still, Nobunaga spoke as he always did, and his strong voice echoed in our chests. And therein ends chapter 8. Do I save it? I don't remember. I don't think I do. No save. So if I save, then it goes away. I'd have to redo the whole game again. All right. Anyway, I'll see you guys in chapter A. And of course, we'll do chapter B afterwards with, of course, our epilogues. And I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. Kaze out.